this is section 5.4. Just real quick, we're going to review. We've been talking about slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So if I have an equation that looks like this, negative 2/3 x plus, 4. Okay, that is in slope-intercept form. Okay, I have this is my slope. This is my y-intercept. So once I've gotten my equation in that form, I can just look at the information from this and graph it. Okay, this is my y-intercept, so I go up 4 on my y-axis. This is my slope, so I'm going to treat the negative on my 2, so I'm going to go down 2 and over to the right, 1, 2, 3, and put my other point. Then I draw a line through that, and that is the line represented by that equation. What we're going to do today is we're kind of going to go backwards. They're going to give us information, and we're going to have to put it in this form. Now, the information here is not like a standard form of that same line. It's going to be information that has to do with the slope and the y-intercept. So the very first situation that we have is we're going to write the equation in this form that they give me the slope and they give me 1 point. And so what the instructions will say is write the equation in slope-intercept form given this slope and this point that it goes through. So for instance, write an equation of a line that passes through 1, 5 and has a slope of 2. So my line is going to go through that point and it has a slope of 2. Well, I want to know what equation describes that line. So here are the steps that I'm going to go through. Step 1, put the slope value into y equals mx plus b. Now remember, that's your slope, okay? So that is the first thing I'm going to do. I'll do it over here. Step 1, my slope is 2. So I go y equals 2x plus b. I've taken that slope and I've placed it right there where the m goes because that's my slope position. Step 2, I am going to replace my x and y in y equals mx plus b with my x and y values. So now, step 2, I continue to bring that m down, but this is my x and this is my y. So my x value goes right there and my y value goes right there. So I have 5. I replace my y with this y value. I still have my slope of 2 and my x is right there for 1. So I have replaced everything except for the b. My third step is solve for the b. Okay, so come down here. 5 is equal to 2 plus b. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So I've got 3 equals b. So I've done step 3. Step 4. Put the slope and the b back in y equals mx plus b. Okay, so step 4. Remember my slope value is 2, so y equals 2x. My b value is 3. So what I've done is I've found the equation of the line that goes through the point 1, 5 and has a slope of 2. Okay, and that's all they're asking for right there. Now you can graph it. You already know how to graph that. So let's do another one of those. Same steps. And this time they tell me I'm going to do the equation of the line that goes through 2, negative 3, and has a slope of 1/2. All right, so step 1, I put this in the M location. So y equals 1/2 x plus b, because remember b is the same as the slope. Or not b, m is the same as the slope. Okay, so I'm substituting it right there in the equation. Step 2, I'm going to put this x and y into my y equals mx plus b. So y is negative 3. I still have my slope of 1/2, and my x is 2, and my b is my unknown. So step 3, I'm going to solve for the b. So I have negative 3 equals, when I take 1/2 of 2, I get a 1. So I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, so I get b is equal to negative 4. Step 4 is just a matter of placing this and this in the correct location for the slope and the y-intercept. So y equals 1/2 x plus negative 4. And that's what they're looking for. Okay? All right, occasionally they ask you to do the same thing, but they don't give you the slope. They'll give you 2 points that it goes through. So for instance, let's say it goes through, I want the equation of the line that goes through negative 3, negative 1, and 6, negative 4. Okay? If they give me that, and I don't know the slope, then let's say I have a 0 step, and that 0 step is simply find the slope. Everything else is exactly the same. So if you remember, in finding the slope, you have to use the slope formula. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So step 0, I'm going to find the slope. So I'm going to go negative 1 minus a negative 4. Remember the y's are on the top. Over negative 3 minus 6. If I started with that one on the top, I have to start with that one on the bottom. So I'm going to add the opposite here. I'm going to get a positive 3 on the top, and I'm going to get a negative 9 on the bottom, which reduces down, and always reduce it, to negative 1/3. So now I'm at this point. So step 1, I'm going to place that equation, that slope in my equation. Step 1 complete. Step 2, oh, now I've got a problem. Which x and y do I use? It does not matter. But if I chose that x, I have to choose this y. If I choose this x, I have to choose that y. So it really doesn't matter. Let's choose the first one. So I have negative 1. I put the y in the y position. Still have the negative 1/3. And my x is negative 3. So now I've done step 2. I replaced my x and y in the equation with the x and the y values. All right, then I have to solve for b. So negative 1, and I'm going to multiply here. That's going to give me 1 plus b. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. I'm going to get b is equal to negative 2. Step 4, same thing that I've been doing. I place this and this back in my y equals mx plus b equation. So y is equal to negative 1/3 x plus negative 2. And that is my answer. That's what they were looking for. Let's do one more like that, and then I'll give you your homework. So let me find another one. Let's say it goes through 5, 1, and 8, negative 2. And I want to find the equation of the line in slope-intercept form, which is this form, that goes through those 2 points. So I don't have a slope yet, so I have to start with step 0. So I have 1 minus a negative 2 over 5 minus 8, which is going to give me 3 on the top and negative 3 on the bottom, which is going to give me a negative 1. Well, you know that negative 1 means I have a negative 1 over 1. Okay? So, step 1, I'm going to put that into this form. So, y equals negative 1, and I can put the negative 1 there so I can see what the slope is, plus b. Step 2, I pick one of these two. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one. It doesn't have a negative in it, so it might make it easier. So the 1 goes where the y goes. The x goes where the x goes. Step 3, I have to solve for the b. So I have 1 is equal to negative 5 plus b. I'm going to add 5 to both sides, so I'm going to get b is equal to 6. Step 4, I place the slope, which is negative 1, in for the m, and I put the 6 where the b is. And that's the equation of the line that goes through those 2 points. All right, your homework. And again, we're going to do odd so that you can look at the answers in the back of the book, page 284. And I want you to do, let's do 11 through 27.